Going to explore how heat changes the form of materials. We'll focus on crayons and see how a solid becomes a liquid by adding energy. Ready to discover the science behind it? Think about a crayon left outside on a hot, sunny day. What do you think happens to it? Let's hear your answers. Exactly. The crayon melts because the heat from the sun gives it energy. When enough heat is added, the crayon changes from a solid, which has a fixed shape, to a liquid, which can flow and take the shape of a container. Everything around us is made of matter. Crayons, water, air, even you. Matter can be a solid, liquid, or gas. When we add heat, it gives energy to the particles inside the matter. In solids, particles are very close together and vibrate in place. When enough heat is added, the particles start moving faster and slip past each other, turning the solid into a liquid. So when crayons melt, their particles are moving more freely because of the heat energy. Let's see the following video about the different states of matter.
Welcome back to my virtual science lab. Today, I want to demonstrate how matter can change from one state to another when it is heated or cooled. Here we have some ice, a plate, two beakers, a burner, a tripod with a gauze, and a freezer. Ice is matter in a solid state. It's frozen water. Let's pour the ice into the beaker and light the burner. As the ice is heated, it begins to change into a liquid, a process called melting. When water is heated, it changes state again. It changes into the gas water vapor through a process called evaporation. When the rising water vapor comes into contact with the plate, it cools. This causes it to change back into liquid water again. This process is called condensation. How would liquid water change state if it were cooled in a freezer? You guessed it, it changes back into solid ice, a process called freezing. Thanks for watching, see ya!
In our experiment, we place small pieces of crayons into molds like cupcake liners. When we apply heat using a hairdryer, the crayons start to melt. We could also measure the temperature with a thermometer and see how the temperature rises during melting. As the crayons melt, we observe not only the shape change, but also color blending, another fun effect of phase change. If we were recording the temperature every 2 minutes, we would see that as time goes on, the temperature increases. The hotter it gets, the faster the crayons melt. This shows us that heat energy directly affects how fast a solid can turn into a liquid. We use math here to plot temperature changes and see patterns. After melting, we can pour the liquid crayons into molds to make fun shapes. Engineers and artists design molds that are heat-safe and creative. If you could design a crayon mold, what would it look like? Would it be shaped like a star? A superhero logo? Think about materials too. Silicone and metal are great because they can handle heat without melting themselves. Let's review. We learned that matter changes when we add heat. Solids, like crayons, melt into liquids when their particles gain energy and move faster. We also saw how scientists measure and graph those changes, and how engineers design creative molds to shape the melted material. Before we finish, tell me in one word, what did you learn today? Collect a few answers like melt, energy, heat, particles, solid, liquid.